Dun 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 dun
November
dun.
6th, I had a couple things I wanted to come to you guys and discuss and see what you guys thought about these topics. One of the things is that we use about 1/10 of our silver reserves in the ground every year on different things. So I wanted to know what you guys thought about, the upcoming decade or two. What happens when we run out? If we use 1/10 in 10 years, we'll run out. So we drastically need to increase this resource. We need to find something out there, some distant land where we can find some major resource of silver, or we need to start buying from other people and stocking that like oil. I just I don't know what to expect with silver. With this information, I can see that silver, and it's not hard to believe that silver could reach $100 per ounce easy in the next decade or two. It could even get to the point where it's a 1:1 ratio to gold. I this is my personal opinion. I read an article that said that we use some 80% of silver produced a year in the industrial sector. That doesn't leave very much for investing in other means. And compare this to the 15% of gold that we use in the industrial sector a year. You see why I'm coming to you to tell you that I assume that silver is going to explode. If we use 80%, it means that we have a high demand for this, and as the supply goes down, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to stock our silver, wait until it hits $1,000 an ounce, and then we have many products that use silver that we can't recycle. Batteries, things like that. And how many people do you know that recycle batteries? Speaking of which, I probably should start recycling batteries, but I probably won't. It's estimated that in the beginning of the 1900s, we had some 12 billion ounces of silver. It's a lot of silver. Compare that to today, roughly around 1 billion ounces. You might ask yourself where all this silver is going. But like I said, batteries and things like that are taking up all this silver that we can't replace. But other things are like computers, appliances, batteries, medical equipment, medical, and anything in the medical industry, they use a lot of silver that you might not know of. Photography, As our silver reserves diminish, the silver price will go sky high. This next topic I'm bringing to you guys is mainly of discussion. I'm not saying I'm right or anyone else is wrong. I'm just saying that I don't personally agree with this, but I want to know what you guys think. Some people say that since there's silver on the moon, that the supply and demand of silver will go down. Since we have, another 12 billion ounces of silver, well, why is silver not at $2 an ounce? This is ridiculous. People want silver that they can't receive. I want a $100 silver cert from the moon. Oh, okay, here you go, sir. Thank you. That guy just bought a $100 piece of paper. There's no way for him to be, take it back to the next day and be like, I made a mistake. I have to buy my wife a birthday present. They're going to tell you, basically, to get out of their store or out of wherever they sell these certs. There's no way for them to go to the moon and get your silver back. It's a scam. Can't trade in moon certs. If you don't know where the silver is on the moon, in large quantities, and how much there is. What happens if there's only 1 billion ounces of silver on the moon, and then some 2 billion ounces are sold? That means a lot of people are out of a lot of money. This doesn't make sense to me. I want to meet with the first person that buys a large quantity of these moon silver certs and ask him to call all that silver in. See what happens. See how long it takes them to send that silver to you. I don't see it happening. Where's your silver? 30, 40 years, Does it make sense? We're actually going to agree that the silver on the moon is actually worth something. What happens when the 80% of silver used a year is gone? How are you going to get that silver off the moon? It's not worth anything. If even our U.S. government or anyone, any other country can't go to the moon to receive that. Yeah, we might be able to send some, astronauts up there, maybe to collect a couple ounces, but nothing in large quantities like we need. What we need to do is focus on Earth and find the silver reserves. Selling these moon certs is like saying that there's an endangered species of deer that lives on the moon that only comes out once a year and when it knows no one's looking. We would still protect the deer here on Earth, and it wouldn't change anything. We're not going to kill all the deer off here just because we know that there's, 15 billion up on the moon. That doesn't make sense. And plus, we can't see these deer anyway. It's illegal for banks to sell silver certs with no silver backing them. It's illegal for countries to sell moon certs when there's no silver to back them. Any country tries to sell these silver certs, it's a scam, and I would get out of that country immediately. Alright, thanks. Thumbs up down below, comments, leave a message, add me as a friend, subscribe to my channel, do whatever you need to do. Thank you for listening.